Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. As we head into another week of NFL action, it's time for me to release my team prop picks, courtesy of Bet365 Sportsbook. Already giving you my 3 player prop picks of the week. Now it's time for my 3 best bets when it comes to team props. And we'll start it off with the Ravens here in the race to the points against the Tennessee Titans. The Ravens, obviously, their offense has been playing somewhat well this season, especially running the football. And a little bit of a gamble here, obviously, but if they can win the race to 30 points, which I think the bigger question is whether or not they can get to 30, but their over-under right now is sitting at 27.5, so 30 points isn't that bad of a value. And if you're looking to add a little bit of value here, if you like the Ravens like I do this week, their race to 30 points is actually a plus 150 value. And obviously, I think if they get to 30 points, they're going to win the race to 30 points. But versus the Tennessee Titans defense that's giving up a ton of yards in both areas of the game here, running and passing, I think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to come in and have a really easy time scoring the football and moving the football against the Tennessee Titans. So 30 points at plus 150 I think is an excellent value considering their team total, which has minus 110 odds, is at 27.5. So to get that extra 2.5 points gives you a lot of extra value from Bet365. Next one I have for you is the Green Bay Packers and their team total at 30.5 at home against the Bears this week. Chicago obviously got beat down by the Packers earlier in the season in Chicago when the Packers scored 38 points. But if Jay Cutler wouldn't have turned the ball over twice, it's likely that the Packers would not have had over 30 points in that game, and it probably would have been a little bit more competitive. And obviously that's a big if when you're talking about the Chicago Bears and Jay Cutler turning the ball over. But I think the Packers at under 30.5 have the value here at even money plus 100. I think the Bears are going to play a little bit more of a competitive football game. They're likely going to try to run the ball a lot more than they did on that Packers defense, which has been having a lot of trouble stopping the run this season. Probably going to try to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, control the clock, and rush the passer. And if they can do those two things, I think they have a very, very good shot of keeping the Packers under 30 points. I think Trestman and company really have learned their lesson against the Packers so far this season after getting them, like I said, giving up 38 points to them earlier in week 4 or 5 or whatever it was. So take the under here on the Packers. I think the Bears are going to play a smarter football game this week. Finally, I have a sack total over-under for you between the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, and their total sack number is at 5.5 this week, and two of the better sack teams in the entire NFL combined for 43 sacks together in the first half of the season. And I think over here has a pretty good value at minus 110. Obviously, the Chiefs have a duo of very deadly pass rushers, and the Buffalo Bills also have a very good defensive line and front seven that really had a good time rushing the passer this season and getting some sacks. So I think that we could see a pretty defensive game between these two clubs, and I think that'll lead to a lot of quarterbacks being put down onto the ground. And 6 or more sacks in this game I do not think is out of the question at all. So add over 5.5 to your NFL picks, along with under 30.5 of the Packers team total at plus 100, and Ravens first to 30 points at plus 150. Best of luck to you on those 3. Like I said, make sure you check out my player props as well from Bet365. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.